Greetings. Yet again, you've come to witness these brave souls continue to struggle against the shadows of the land of Barovia. Last time, they had overcome the challenge of the Wizard of Wines, specifically finishing their rout of the druids and blights that had overtaken it. Sasha was able to, with his own magics, draw from one of their captives that they took, the only one, actually, visions of a sinister ritual, and following some other questions and some information that they got from the owners of the Wizard of Wine themselves, they determined that the place that they saw, or that they sought, was a place called Yester Hill, one of two different locations where magic gems could potentially be retaken for the good of the vineyard and also all of Barovia. We will resume as they travel towards Yester Hill, their first location, in hopes of stopping the ritual that they foresaw. Is there anything anyone wants to say before we begin proper?
No, not yet.
Alright. The group's travel to their destination is not smooth, but perhaps not as treacherous as their last adventure has been. As they travel the roads, they do find themselves combating eyes in the dark and shifty characters in the day. But none of these obstacles prove too great a challenge on their way.
Sorry, I want to clarify. On the third day, how early in the third day are we going to get there by the map calculations?
Around dusk.
Okay. Then note for the third day, I'm not doing the thing where I summon my things early in the morning, because otherwise then by the time we get there, I won't have any tiny servants.
Fair enough.
What's the casting time of it, by the way?
A minute. But it lasts for 8 hours, meaning if I cast it in the morning, by the time we get there, I won't have any.
The greatest challenge being the gloomy skies, as rain continuously pelts the group as they travel softly, and then a little harder, and then a little harder. It eases up a little bit on the second day, but then resumes twice as bad on the third.
Right.
You know dusk only by the concept and by your own internal clocks, as you come upon a very large series of mounds and paths. The trail through the thick woods leads to a hill covered with dead grass and cairns of black rock. Dark, ominous clouds continue to pour rain, and in the distance, a single bolt of lightning can be seen striking a distant hilltop. West of the hill, the land, the woods, and the sky vanish behind a towering wall of fog. Some of you may remember from last time that was part of the vision, and a piece of history in and of itself.
Yeah, it was like a wall of fog that you could see stuff in, right?
That is what the rumors say. So you're not quite close enough to get a good look yet.
No. There's a question. Did we stop at any point on the travel during this day to like eat or anything?
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay. How long ago was that before we got here?
Mm,
And how much time would have been left on the journey when we stopped? Or last time we stopped, I guess I should say.
Probably say safe time for...
well, I was actually about to ask, like, does anybody eat particularly early or late?
Well, if we're about to go attack someplace, we should probably make sure we have some food in us.
Because you
10 minutes before?
Because I would assume you stopped like midday, probably. But then I guess the question would be, did you eat before dusk? After that?
Well, basically, what I'm going to do is when we stop to eat, assuming it's within like 3 or 4 hours of us getting there, I think a reasonable assumption. I'm going to cast tiny servants. And then over the course of us eating, take a short rest, we get a spell slot. So that I have 2 third-level spell slots and 3 of my tiny servants up already. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get on 9. Sorry, it's just a little mathematical spell keeping. I know it's really lame and boring, but I have to do it because...
I'll say there's probably a point where Siguror, since you already said that thing out of character, suggests like a snack break, and it's optional whether or not like the two of you, Crack and Greila, feel like eating anything right now, like before you do anything.
You never know how long a siege will take.
Yeah, and then once we get to Yester Hill itself, I'll take 2 minutes to cast the other 2.
Okay.
Once we're like seeing it from a distance, because I don't want us to get ambushed.
Which is right now.
Okay, so basically, as this is happening, I'm casting 2 more instances of tiny servants, so I have my full 9 tiny servants out, and then how far away are we from the actual location? Is it like we're in the trees and we see it and it's like minutes away, or is it like an hour in the distance?
You are minutes away from breaching like from arriving to the location. Like, yeah.
Okay, so we're right there. Cool.
You're basically
also, and again, not to be that guy who hasn't taken 18 years buffing before we go in, but it's happening. I'm going to cast False Life, Vita Mortis Cario, and I will give myself, maybe I should do it at a level 2 slot, huh? But,
is it significantly more powerful?
It's 5 more HP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that'll give me 7 more HP, or 7 temporary hit points. Unfortunately, I can't cast it on anyone else because it's temp. Otherwise, I would. Don't think I'm being a selfish jerk.
I think it's also self, isn't it?
Yeah, it is self. That's what I
As Sasha stops and makes preparations, Ismark pulls out his sword, or rather, like a larger sword that he took like from one of the barbarians a ways back, and starts sharpening it.
Okay. I'm just asking for clarification. Is the fog wall along Yester Hill, or is it like a barrier to get to Yester Hill?
The fog wall is at like the rear of Yester Hill.
Okay.
You can see it in the distance.
Okay. And for all intents and purposes, besides the added effects, it functions just like the other fog that's in Barovia. If you go into it, you're probably not coming back.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless I have misread, it should be right against like the fog wall that like borders the land.
Yeah.
Oh, alright. Jeez.
It's
So
just
we're
this
near the
particular
edge of
part.
Barovia?
This particular part is special, or so the legends say.
Alright, then probably be a good time to do the small ritual while everybody's getting prepared and stuff.
Could I get a roll from both of you? Just like a normal roll.
Do we add anything to it, or just 7?
You said 7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna roll my.
As everybody's preparing, assuming that Greila isn't busy like preparing with anything herself, it crosses her mind that you haven't fought anything since the last time you saw Ismark like sharpening his sword.
Okay.
You get the impression that maybe he's trying to join in a little bit.
Oh.
Or like once Sasha did it and he pulled out, it's like, no, okay. Like as you're looking, you're like, I haven't fought and it should be fine.
I understand.
This is trying to show off.
Make himself a little busy. Oh,
That's
well,
funny.
I mean, yeah, he couldn't handle the big ass axe, but he went for the sword, so it's a good show of trying.
Okay, I have.
Yeah, I could go for it, but then that'd be less armor class. Gosh,
Okay.
that's worth it.
How bright is it?
I'm ready.
Not very.
Not very.
It's like on the verge of dim. It's not enough to where like you'll have trouble seeing yet, but it's starting to get there.
I'll cast light on my shield, I guess. It'll last for an hour. and I'll cast Shillelagh on my club, assuming we get in a fight real soon.
Are we going to go in directly, or did we want to look around first?
I don't know. I'm fine with either.
We do not know the borders of it. Would probably be a smart idea.
Out of character, we don't see anything from here other than just the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are technically like other paths that you could take because there are like these rings around like the central area. So if you wanted, you could in a roundabout like wander. Well, not wander. It's a little better than that.
You could circle.
Amongst like the big rock piles that like center where it's kind of hard to make out from where you are, but from where you would presume is like the effigy and the tree.
Is there any smoke or anything
I gave myself
that
8.
we can see going above the trees or anything? Anything that sets us up apart from fog, I suppose.
No. At least not from here.
Okay. Campfires or anything?
In fact, it is fairly quiet, apart from the rain and thunder.
If the devil is here, maybe we should know before we head in.
Do you think he would be here? I thought he would not be here until they had gained his favor, as was said.
I do not know. Out of character, technically we just have to get the gems. But if the druids are cultists to Strahd, they should probably go.
Probably not a bad idea.
Just attacking them all at once is probably not the smartest idea in the world either. Really, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to attack head on, or do you want to try to like sneak?
We could sneak and Crack could go ahead if he's okay with it and scout out the area.
Try to get some idea of numbers or activity.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, mainly the numbers and the location of enemies. It's up to you. Do you want to do that?
As Crack goes to investigate, I'm going to cast invisibility on him. Veritas, create the Oculus.
You cast.
Yep.
Crack vanishes.
You can roll with advantage.
It's not gonna be. Doesn't matter anyway. Please, 2 more than what I got in the first roll. So.
Well, I didn't know what you rolled the first time.
Alright. As Crack vanishes and likely moves forward, Siguror hears something. First, it sounds like it's just on the wind, but then it picks up more and more. A voice, harsh yet ghostly. Finally, the time has come. Seize the power once lost and rule in my stead. Come hither and grasp it. The power.
I think I hear something. Supposed to start sneaking towards it? Cause do I know what direction it came from?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You feel / kind of think you're hearing it like a little down the path and then off to the right.
Start heading down it. What the fuck is going on?
As you start moving, Ismark asks, "Hear what?" I don't hear anything.
It may not be anything, but it may be something. Doesn't sound too far off.
Do you want someone to go with you?
It'd be a fool's errand to go off by oneself.
That would wait.
Then why are you doing it?
Sounds like you have offered. Come on.
Honestly, since I'm not
Seems like a
there.
bad idea.
It doesn't matter.
You're invisible, so I feel a bit
He
more
he
with
casts
you.
a look at Irina. His protest hasn't perhaps worked too well, but doesn't say anything and walks with you. The wind howls, the rain pounds. It's very wet and soft beneath Crack's feet as he moves forwards. I presume more just straight forward down
Sure.
the central path. You were invisible, and you said you got a 27.
7.
Okay.
As I can get.
You move, to your knowledge, completely unseen. Eventually, you come to what feels like kind of the center-ish of this place. You get on top of the hill in the distance. There's a wide ring of black boulders with small rocks that collectively form like a makeshift wall, just like a little ways in front of you. And this makeshift wall like surrounds a big thing of dead grass. As you're inspecting it, lightning strikes at the edge of the ring. And you wait a little longer, and it strikes again at the same place. Each time it strikes, it illuminates a ghastly 50-foot tall statue made of, when you get closer, what appears to be tightly woven twigs and packed with black earth. The statue resembles a towering cloaked man with fangs.
Strahd effigy.
Could I get a perception check from you?
Yeah, sure. Okay. 7.
Wouldn't you use your passive if you roll below it?
Looking around, you don't see anyone. However, against the dark, there's like a green glow coming from the effigy's chest, which is pretty high up that you can pretty easily see. It's not a person, but you remember being told about like the gems. And, like, yeah, maybe. And then from where you are, now that you're like here, you can see that there's down a little ways farther a like grove of trees, one much larger than the other. It's almost impossible to see without the aid of proper light, but there's also a tree that is much larger, and it blends in with the rest of the oncoming night, because when lightning strikes, you see like it's this big black gnarled tree. It almost seems like a facsimile of a normal tree in that it speaks nothing to vitality or life, only death, as you feel in your heart of hearts. There are also shiny patches on it that you can like kind of tell, but you're gonna have to get closer for that. And you also hear some noise from down there, so probably where the action is. You and Ismark. Ismark doesn't feel anything, but you feel yourself like pulled and hailed. Yes, closer, closer. Your blood calls to it. You were taken
More sinister than I thought it would have sounded initially.
30 feet down a side path to one of the large, like, mounds of, like, earth and rocks. Use your strength. Unearth what shall now visit the lands and take what is rightfully ours. When you stop, Ismark like looks like a little bit.
What is actually something that's coming from? Like a mound, a grave, a tree?
From a mound. The mound like that you come to. It's got earth, it's got rocks. You could probably get rid of it with like a little bit of work, like maybe a couple minutes.
Am I feeling compelled to actually unearth it and everything? Or is it just...
It is a strong feeling. Compelled, but in the flavorful sense.
Okay.
You feel like...
Feel wuss. Just do it.
You also feel, for what it's worth, that it comes, like, not just from without, but from within. You almost feel a more animalistic part of yourself. Maybe that's a little too crass, but something deep down that resonates with these words, though these words do not come from you or yourself.
It may be blatantly obvious, but insight to see if it's actually sinister intentions, maybe it's just weird wording. Or can I just tell?
I think your best judgment is more or less accurate.
There is something.
But impatiently, it demands. Go ahead.
There is something here that is demanding to be unearthed.
You mean like a spirit?
I do not know.
He can't hear it, but you hear, no, spirit. Destiny. So as I have ruled these lands once before, so shall you rule again. Do not hesitate. Grasp what is before you.
Sounds like it.
Stop being a wuss. Just do it.
Prepare yourself. There may be something. It may not be anything.
Ismark like raises his blade and prepares himself.
And okay, I'll do it. So I can start. I get digging or just pushing.
Digging kind of.
Okay.
Like you plunge your hands into the cold, runny earth and start moving aside rocks and whatever as the voice goes, yes, claim it, your birthright by blood, by tribe. Meanwhile, Crag moves farther on and comes to quite a sight. At the south end of the hilltop upon which you stand, there's a grove of dead trees. So they still have some stuff on, but when you get closer, you see like they're kind of sunken. Their stuff is kind of faded, at least from feel. You can't really tell from sight because it's all dark and stuff. And you see a better picture of the other tree, the one in the center, around which a number 6, to be specific, gangly humanoids dance around. At the foot of like the large blackened tree that now you're also getting a whiff of like blood as well. Also exist a number of spindly creatures, which, having fought them not long ago, you recognize there's blights as well.
How many blights?
There are also 6 of them. Though they do not dance, they like mill about the tree, as opposed to the other humanoids that are in a circle and kind of like half dance, half linger. They're not like standing still. As you narrow your eyes, you make out telltale signs of more druids. Them having wrapped themselves in cloaks of moss, loose furnishings from trees like leaves and twigs. Some of them only partially covered, but sporting wicked symbols upon themselves. Some of them appear to be crudely armed, but for the most part not, though you are aware that they are magically inclined, so it's probably more their deal. As you are studying them, they stop, and one of them, with a big, long, gray beard that is horrifically knotted up and muck-filled, like points elsewhere, and calls out, "Ah!" And you turn, and as lightning strikes, you see on a distant hill, atop a flaming horse, the unmistakable figure of Strahd von Darvich. The wind seems to pick up at their notice, and from not seeming... Actually, could I get a perception check from you real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Like another one.
Alright, better. I got 20.
In the dark, it's a wonder that you catch this. But as the druid points and shouts, there are a number of other druids and even some, you assume barbarians because they're not cloaked at all and they have large weapons on them, that rise from mud in some of the piles that surround it, almost like zombies, but clearly not, because they move like living things, even if they emerge like the dead, that travel up and come around. The ones sporting weapons merely look in a sense of awe and reverence at the hill, and then back outwards. None of them seem to have noticed you, or no, I'm pretty sure nobody noticed you. The ones that you've pegged as druids form up around the tree and begin moving together as dance, chanting, perhaps having started to perform some kind of ritual.
Timer might be almost up.
Yeah. I want to go back. I want to steal his chimps too.
You could, though it's probably buried in there, so you'd have to have a way of getting it out. While lightning has struck multiple times since Crack has been gone, there's one particular lightning strike that sends a shiver down the spines of those that are waiting for their comrades to come back. Irina, grasping her cloak closer to herself.
So basically,
Just got cold all of a sudden.
It's from rest of our group right now.
Yes. Out of character, I don't know what's going on. Out of character, I know what's going on. I have no idea.
Oh,
How many bolts have struck since Crack has left? 7 or something?
I'll say maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
It strikes and there's storm, and then it
That's
strikes
right.
and there's storm.
I mean, we can't do anything until he gets back, so there's no use fucking focusing on it.
You feel the chill as you unearth what the voice proclaims is rightfully yours. It is very old, though very well constructed. A savage-looking spear. The voice encourages you. Take it in hand. Take it before the evil of the rest of the land denies you. Take its strength. Become what you are meant to be. Ismark, looking at the spear, says, "Did you feel that?"
Yes.
Something has changed. Did you find one?
I'm going to take my sword, plant it on the ground next to it. If something happens, grab the others.
He nods.
And I'll grab it.
You grab
and
it.
Pull it out.
You grab it, and you feel almost as if it was made for you. Maybe not you, but someone like you. It feels good, and there's some aspects of craftsmanship that, while not exact, kind of remind you about how some of the weapons are made back home. I mean, different type of wood, different type of stone, but still nice.
Seems like a craftsman from the village came here.
Not quite. More like same culture.
Okay.
It feels good, and the voice is enthusiastic as ever. Yes, go now. Destroy all who would oppose you, and take the lands that were once taken. It speaks no more, but you feel something settle upon you. Not within, not like anything's invaded you, but like something's looking down on you from above. Or perhaps below.
This is finally crafted. We'll see if it's of use or not. Should. Yeah. Alright. I guess just pick up sword back and head to the others.
Interesting. The digging took a little while, and Crack has a pretty good move speed, right? Like you have
40.
a pretty good amount. Okay. I will ask, were you going to attempt to stop and grab what you presume is the gem inside the effigy? Because obviously that changes when you get back to the rest of the group.
I think I'll leave for now. Right.
Very well. Crack's pretty fast, and it took you a while to dig, so you arrive back, and people look. Greila and Irina, played by me, both notice that you have a new spear. Ismark says, "We're back."
Everything went okay out there? You
Yes.
seem to have come back with something.
I believe it was this that was calling to me. The craftsmanship seems...
Something was calling to you. Shouldn't you tell us next time instead of wandering off on your own?
This
Well,
is where Crack
Not back. Okay.
comes back.
Well,
Like,
being
you don't know
invisible.
that Crack's back,
It's
but Crack is able
invisible.
to. Crack hears that.
I know when my
You can
spell's
speak
coming
from
back.
here. Well, okay.
The rest
I
of us
didn't know
don't.
you did.
When he
Okay,
gets
it's
back, I'm
concentration.
going to say,
I'm back.
what did you see? What's happening?
See twig blights, or what are those stick people, and tree, and those people we fought before. Around the tree, I see a twig-like statue, I guess would be the word.
The effigy, yes.
That has shiny rocks.
The gem.
Yeah. And I see I guess since he says Strahd many times, I'll say I seen Strahd on a... What kind of horse did you say it was?
A flaming
A
horse.
flaming horse.
On a hill over that way.
A black horse with a mane of fire.
With seems like with not just undead things. You said there was undead things there, right? Or
As if a number of barbarians and other druids like
Okay.
rose from the dirt and from the mud to join the ritual that had
But he also
begun.
said they weren't undead. Because they were walking.
Yeah.
along.
Yeah,
yeah, right. Just make sure there's undead.
they rose zombie-like.
And
They are
then
not.
there are a number of warriors with him that rose zombie-like, but don't seem to be undead or dead or whatever.
I roll intelligence check to know what a nightmare is. Because out of character, I'm like 90% sure. But in character, obviously, I don't.
Oh, also make that roll if you have to roll religion for it. Also, speak.
Would that
Colonel?
be an intelligence check? Wouldn't it be like...
Identify any monster is an intelligence check.
I thought it was a nature check.
Nature's an
Nature's
intelligence check.
intelligence skill.
Knowing stuff is intelligence.
Fine.
So all the lords.
You
So would
also
it be
can
nature
if you
or
want.
religion? Which would it be?
It'd be nature.
That'd be nature?
Oh,
10.
20. If it's nature, if you have no religion.
You've heard stories, and also stories here. It's decent enough to connect. It's not a normal horse, that's for sure.
Does
It
this
also-
horse know?
A little bit.
So
So
can
it's-
I roll history, actually?
You could also do that for a double dip, but just as once.
So
23 on history on knowing about Strahd's horse.
Both you and you, like, it doesn't sound like a normal horse, and obviously it is not. You just have the benefit of, it sounds like a nightmare, which is a type of creature that's horse-like, but infernal in its ways. It's got a fiery mane, it's all black, and you believe that it can bestow the ability to, like, resist fire, like the fires that birthed it, to the people who sit upon it. And you also know that it's capable of whisking it and a certain amount of others to a faraway plane and back again. You more like know what it is initially, and you're like, and also I've heard stories that like Strahd can like vanish and reappear on it, but there are certain signs to the legends that point to it not being just a teleport.
Right.
And also,
So the horse can plane shift, basically.
and also there are tales. There are tales of him fearing no flame while upon it. So you're like, that's probably this thing.
Probably
As long as he had the horse.
You know that nightmares can fly, and you know that there are tales of him like they refer to him riding it, but also soaring through the sky. So
Awesome.
it also flies.
Does it have a name? Do I know it?
You, because specifically history, know that it is called Bucephalus.
Bucephalus? Sounds like a fucking video game.
And that's what you got. He's here. He's with people. Supposedly. Well, not supposedly. You know.
Okay.
Is he the yellow one?
No.
Whether he is here or not, the ritual must still be stopped. But
It's gonna be hard to get away from him, man.
We have a distraction of some sort. Something that could potentially draw his eye.
I mean, it is.
that is
That-
exactly
that's
what
not-
the old ones do.
I know.
No.
He sees him.
Do you think he would recognize me?
Oh yeah, we just.
That is. If you're with Ismark, yes.
Traveling with us
So
may
we-
also be a bit more obvious.
She could pull her hood up, but maybe we should have disguised Ismark as well.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until fucking right now.
Well, you can cast prestidigitation and change his haircut, can't you? I want to change his haircut, or
Yeah, he'll just look like someone. He'll look like Ismark got a dye job.
yeah.
Have to like shade his face.
We could stay back here, just in case. Though Irina says,
How big
but I
is
don't
that?
want to. If everyone else is risking their lives, I don't want to just
If
stay
you wish
here.
to join us, you should. I just wanted you to be aware of the danger before we enter. No one will think any less of you if you decide to stay back. But it sounds like your mind is made up. Let us go.
Did
Waste time.
Do they have ranged weapons at all?
Ismark looks, frowns, and also goes to the guys. And
Hey, yeah, let's get in there.
We're
Basically,
going after the
where are
grove.
we? Like, at what point are we going to be within visual range of them? Or, sorry, I should ask, is there like a hill we're going to come up over before they see us?
yes,
Is there any, okay, so as we're nearing the crest of the hill, I cast mirror images on myself, and then as we go over the crest of the hill, I reach out, Irina, and I will place my hand where I think she is, unless she reaches out as well, then in which case it'll be easier, and I will cast Dragon's Breath and give her Fire Breath.
I mean, her footsteps probably sound a little
Why
different.
would you? Why?
Great.
Oh, well, against the
Well,
blights.
when you say
It's the
Irina,
difference between that and her sword. The Dragon's Breath is going to do way more than the sword.
when you say Irina, like she turns when you start to reach out, like it's only polite to like move over. When I reach out, you could be a dick and not.
You gotta try harder than that.
Hey, what the
I'm more than the fire. You know that Strahd is fire resistant.
We're not gonna fight Strahd.
Yeah.
And
Suppose we'll
I
stop.
guess that's But the blights are weak to fire.
Yeah.
Weak to anything else from
No.
our previous checks?
At the very least, some
Fire.
blights are weak to fire, right? I'm out of character. I'm 99% sure twig blights are.
I feel like they should be, but I also want to say no. So
We're probably not going to be fighting Strahd anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, if we're fighting Strahd at this point, it's probably not going to be a fight.
We're going to the grove, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
where we're trying to get, or are we trying to get
he's
to that?
like coming this direction. He's
Yeah.
not there yet. So if we can do this fast,
Faster than a flying nightmare? No, probably
really.
not.
well, I mean, who knows?
But we
he's
can't
gonna
let the ritual go off because then we'll be fighting them and Winterspinner and Strahd. So it's like it's gonna happen.
that's
like
a no.
and fighting. As funny as it is to fight multiple bosses at once, that's how FFRPG ended.
That's
so I don't
how
want
we
to
died
fucking do
multiple-
that again.
That's how we died multiple times.
I mean, it was pretty cool
Until we died.
in concept. I will admit.
Let's go.
So let's fucking get in there.
Yeah, you're still invisible, isn't he?
No, I have to drop invisibility to put Dragon's Breath on.
Oh, that's true.
Let's go.
Yeah, you can.
So she has a 3d6 fire breath attack with 15 full cone.
How many times?
It'll last for a minute.
Okay.
That's why I'm doing it right as we crest the hill, so she has 10 turns of fire breath.
Okay.
And I will have 9 turns of mirror images.
For some reason, I thought it lasted longer.
21 stealth.
Okay.
I guess not too good.
You.
Well, actually, here. Sorry. Pretty sure it's a minute.
You run as fast as you can. You rush, your feet pounding against the wet earth, and you rush. You get to see in person as like another lightning strikes and like illuminates better, though there is some light on the shield that you can also see with. You run past like the big effigy of Strahd von Zarovich peering down indifferently towards you as you hurry across the center of the place. You're running up upon the hill, and as you crest the hill and you make, or rather Sasha makes like the last minute preparation. As you're running down, however, you are cut off.
Isaac.
No. Okay, that'd be cool, but no.
That'd be better than Strahd waylaying us, which I'm pretty sure happened.
A fearsome steed, pitch black as night, with its fiery mane, comes trotting in front of the group.
Oh. Oh boy.
The devil himself peers down on the group, almost mountainous in his presence, if not his actual size, though he is fairly tall. Quite casually, he waves his hand and says, "What a night to meet."
Yeah, I don't think this was an accident.
Is that a character?
Yeah.
No, few things are in this land, held by fate. But it is fortunate that you are here. You are in time to experience something truly breathtaking.
I'm gonna try and circle around him.
Walk past him.
Yeah. I'm not gonna walk within arm's reach of him, but if he starts moving, I'll like if he tries to get.
He can't stop all of us if we just run around.
Scatter!
Greila begins to edge around, and could I get a perception check from you?
Shit. 17. Yeah, I have guidance. Oh, okay.
I mean,
20.
it's not that bad. Greila starts to edge around him and notices that there are wolves coming up from either side of him, and you have the chance to decide whether or not you want to continue inching around him or not. As Strahd says, "No, please, do not be rude."
See, the thing is, I don't want to stand here and watch your ceremony. I would like to participate. So I'm going to go where the festivities are.
You'll be doing no such thing.
Okay.
Want a charisma save from you.
Really? 23. Proficient in charisma save with the back one used against me.
He demands that you will do no such thing. But you decide otherwise. Even in this, the darkest of lands, your own decorum avails you as you start to move. And the wolves go faster.
That's fine. When they get within 30 feet of me,
Strahd sneers wickedly, and it's initiative.
Why?
what?
What? Did you see how this happened last time?
Yes.
And you were like, man, I'm so jealous of that time Mario got fireballed in half. I really wish I could get fireballed in half.
No.
Fuck it, I got a 19. I'm not rolling.
Okay.
So a 21.
One of the wolves goes first.
Really?
They probably have good initiative. Are there kisses and taffy wolves?
As battle begins and things start to move, the two wolves that were like close to Strahd are revealed as like bigger. You fought these before. They're dire wolves. They're not right.
Okay.
One of the dire wolves goes first and charges. Great.
That's fine. I hold my holy symbol up and make him go away. If he passes.
Well, you can't do that.
I
It's
know.
not your turn.
I'm gonna do it on my turn.
I was wondering.
So he can come bite me,
I was
or I
wondering
can
what you were
prepare
talking
in
about.
action.
Yeah, your prepared action.
My prepared action was not fuck you.
Strahd.
That was pretty good. I did say so early, but no. Don't worry about it. I'll do it on my turn. I did say if they get close to me, I'll hold my holy symbol. Don't worry about it.
Fortunately for Greila, its attack misses.
Okay.
Barely missing Graila's name. It then becomes Crack's turn.
It's up to you. Do it. Jeff, it's your turn. You choose. What you do.
Maybe up to if I can go up to the wolf that's attacking the character.
Alright. You got 40.
40 speed.
Sure.
Right. Not good. Okay. Darn it. Shit.
Oh, because you have key blasts.
He can bolt Strahd like 30 feet away if you want to. Yeah, fuck you.
You may elect to keep blast instead, as long as it is within range. I'll just move you back.
Why isn't the thing on attacking strong?
Well, I meant keep blast the wolf if you want to, as long as it was in range. I'll move you back if you decide to do that. I'll keep you where you are if you decide to pummel it.
That's fair.
Very well.
6.
11.
11. Now, key blast. Oh, wait. Shut you're all freaking strong.
It's up to you.
If you want to attack Strahd, attack Strahd. It's up to you, man. I think Crap would want to attack Strahd.
Yeah, since he fireball.
Are you trying to keep us?
Yeah.
You have disadvantage. Something's in melee with you.
Straw.
It doesn't matter. If anything's in melee with you, shooting at something else has disadvantage.
Oh, I thought the key blast counted as a melee spell.
Unless it counts as a melee attack.
I doubt it.
Oh, where?
Not to do melee stats.
I just forgot about range. I was like, oh, I guess it's true.
Well, I missed. I didn't think it would work in
Did you get a 1?
I got 2 plus 7, which is 9, so I doubt that piece is harmless or whatever. Yeah,
I still want it. Crack boldly aggresses with his spear, piercing the wolf's flesh, and then attempts to throw a straight blast at Strahd, though it goes off kilter.
It's a range spell.
Huh. This is a little worse than I thought.
It then becomes Strahd's turn. Strahd looks at Crack. While not the best effort I have witnessed, not the worst.
Mm-hmm. I'll get you next time.
Throwing shade at me, I
Do you think it was a backhand?
Well, no, I think you actually hit him. Didn't you? Didn't Mind Spike actually?
think. No. He said,
He has legendary resistance. You say whatever.
He, or rather, so, moves. And he says, "But your insolence is nothing compared to this one's." As he glides around, looks down upon Greila, and lashes out, a wild fury in his eyes. His unearthly claws tear into Graila's flesh. For 16 damage. What's worse is that Greila is hauled off her feet and up into the air. He makes sure to look long into Graila's eyes for what feels like an eternity before asking, "Tell me, does the boldness afforded to you by your higher power also help with your fear?"
Technically. I mean, not
gurgle typically as he sinks his teeth into your flesh. You can almost feel the motion of his body against yours as anger briefly gives way to a familiar sense of pleasure.
Gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
He draws blood from Graila's neck with a practiced, very practiced effort.
Oh, you're so screwed.
Even if he didn't have his horse, I don't think we'd be able to outrun him. If we tried to retreat.
No, I don't think we probably
Inflicting 10 damage.
And you already hit points back in now. 22. I call vampires.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry that I initially went over it.
Your thing, there isn't anybody's thing that reduces necrotic damage, right? Nobody
You can have
passive
resistance.
this thing.
It then becomes Sasha's turn.
So he's almost certainly resistant to non-magic physical damage. So even if I swarm him with my fucking guys, it's probably not going to really do anything.
They don't count as magic. Go
No. So what I'm going to do is fucking I'll swarm fucking this guy, that dire wolf with my tiny servants, and then I'll decide what Sasha's gonna do with his action. I'm just saying how that goes.
Okay.
So I'm making a swarm of attacks, 9 attacks to be specific. Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay, then knife guy lunges at its face, dealing 6. Does a 21 hit?
Yes, it does.
Then Fort rams into its paw, its front paw for 5.
The first damage was
Six.
6, and this one was 5. Okay.
This one glasses runs up and just body checks it, going full El Fuerte, Tostada Prepper. The one where you hold it down and then he does I forget what that's fucking called. I don't remember. 6 damage. It got a 20 to hit.
Alright.
Cuphead's gonna launch himself up and try to slam him down on the head with both of his fists. Got a 15 to hit and dealt 5 damage if successful.
It's successful.
Markman is gonna pound out his knee. Crit and got a 7 for damage. Stabby is gonna stab him, trying to climb up him, climb up the back of him like something out of Shadow of the Colossus, and then stab him in the back of his neck.
Weak point.
Stabby got a 15 and dealt 4 damage. Twig Nicholson is gonna beat out at his underside, just punching up at his loose spine. Got a 14 to hit and dealt 6 damage if that is a success.
I believe so.
Okay.
He said 6 damage?
Yeah, 6 damage. Her brother's gonna launch himself and try to land on his head.
Oh wait, actually.
On his head hammer first.
Actually, that last one took it down.
Oh, okay, cool.
It is assaulted, stabbed, forked, slammed, pummeled. Your tiny servants do quite a number on this creature of the night.
Then Gordon and Ham Brother are basically going to run up and do like an X-Strike version, or X-Strike kind of move on this one, with both their heads. It'll look very silly.
Yeah, how much movement do they have?
30 feet.
Never mind, we'll attack this one.
Okay.
Because they can reach up. Got a 19 to hit and dealt 4 damage, is what Gordon did.
Okay.
And Hammer Bro got a 20 to hit and also dealt 4 damage. Is that one still up?
Yes.
Okay. Then I have my
Silencer.
my silent image, or my servant guy is basically going to aim my hand at him, and I'm going to cast Insurtus Polkan Imperio, and I'm going to attack with Fireball at disadvantage because I'm blind. But at least since it's aiming me in the right direction, I can still make the attack roll at disadvantage. Does a 12 hit?
It does not.
Wait, does a 14 hit? Sorry. My
Yeah.
math was dumb.
It does.
Okay, and that was a 17 for damage, surprisingly.
That's a big ass fireball.
Fireball. And I got an 8 on 2.
Is it 17? Yeah.
17 fire damage after the 8 I did from my tiny servants.
The other direwolf is charred to a near crisp. Its fur heavily burnt. There are patches of flesh, like a barely visible. It is not dead yet, but it is just so close.
And then my tiny servant, right? My tiny servant, unseen servant, Jesus Christ.
Unseen.
It's going to carefully leave me back here.
Alright. And that concludes your turn.
Yes, sorry, that does conclude my turn. And I think he's right. Whoever kills that can trade me if someone wants to swap, because I hate criminals.
I remember that. That's right.
That's why you mentioned it's
Think
fair.
that.
Good looking out. Because I do not like criminal.
Is that in coconut?
Yeah, that coconut.
Pineapple?
They don't make pineapples happy. Like, yes, I do not like pineapples. Not to sound super picky. It's
You
just
are
like,
not the most pickiest person.
It's
I
only
know.
like 3 or 4 things, which I think is pretty normal for most people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know way more picky people.
Irina surveys the battlefield, trying to figure out what to do.
You're fine, bro.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of friendlies.
She casts her eyes at Strahd and then downwards at his horse, because I presume you've shared out loud.
Yeah.
That meant
And it was fire breath.
I didn't think we'd end up finding him.
Damn it.
her desire is clear to assault Strahd boldly, but she doesn't want clearly to misuse the gift that she has been given, is what I was hinting at.
Right, that's fair, that's fair.
Which is why. You said 15?
Yeah. She can hit both of them.
Oh yeah? I was just thinking of one. She makes her move. And as she does so, Strahd's eyes follow her.
He saves. Or take 3d6 fire.
He spares a look from the side of Graila's neck.
DC is,
The question is,
16. Be a very silly time
Said
for him to be
16?
getting jealous when his teeth are in another woman. What? 16.
And you said it was a deck save, yeah?
Yeah, it's DC 16 dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 fire damage. Half on a success, so even if they save, they're still taking. And did you want
A
me to
cone
roll the fire?
of flame. It'll be more fun if you do so. Go ahead. Actually, no. She will, because she's her own woman. There we go. A cone of flame erupts from her mouth. Perhaps it is her lack of skill at deploying this that leads to both of them evading the worst of it. However,
Putting their wolves decks might be there.
damage is still done.
I thought it'd be useful for the blights.
I mean, it probably will be.
Oh, you mean the fight that if we somehow survive this one, we're gonna have to do immediately after? Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Well, hey, we do have a plan B if there's too many blights. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if it does all of them. Also, it's not gonna fucking help against Winter Splitter. I really doubt he could just be taken out by snapping. the
You
fucking
doubt he's
snap.
just a giant blight?
Yeah, I somehow doubt that's gonna work. If he was like, I have awakened. I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
Hey, there's some bosses with exhibition gimmicked out like that. Like the dragon from Paper Mario. Gimmick out with a sound emblem. Oh god, it sounds like crickets. I'm weak.
After watching the woman move, Strahd sinks his fangs deeper into Greila.
Really?
Legendary action.
Yeah, I know. I thought he was gonna go after her for a second. I was like,
He
maybe
still
not.
has advantage. Not to be that guy.
Yeah, he's
No,
still
he
trapped.
does.
But he's still. Well, it's because flanking. Grapple doesn't get advantage. Unless lifting you into the air counts as being incapacitated, which would be up to him to decide.
Or just grappled.
I'm currently
Or
using
not
it.
incapacitated, but restrained.
I'm currently using it as grapple. So I thought that sounds cool.
But he'd still have it for
Yeah,
for flanking.
I had just forgotten this.
That's why I had hoped my 2 attacks would kill him to get rid of flanking, but
Makes sense.
they didn't.
Oh, that was smart. That was a good idea.
I thought someone else did.
The wolf.
Cracked it.
Cracked it.
Cracked it.
Yeah.
I guess they just have more health than I thought they did.
Well, he cracked it as a second attack.
It was very close.
To hit him Strahd.
No, I mean to die.
Oh.
More blood is drawn from Greila as Greila takes 10 more damage.
At least he's not healing.
Yeah, we haven't done any damage to him. Shut the fuck up, man.
Small victories.
Yeah.
Small miracles!
It
When's
is-
the next review coming out? This one. Review is one word. Don't fucking piss off Strahd way before you're ready.
No. This was right.
This was absolutely not the right move.
We'll see.
If
It
you
is
want
now
to go
Sigurd's
down,
turn.
Hey. Dude, all could be fixed with just 2 words. My bad.
That sounds like an apology to
Fix.
someone who's helpful. My bad.
Let's see the situation. Does anyone else who can't use the spear?
You can. You just know that it has extra to offer once attuned.
Right
Right now it's just
auto
a spear.
attune like fucking whelmed him. Considering it wanted to be picked up so bad, why doesn't it put in the effort itself and automatically attune it?
That sounds cool. I don't remember it saying it auto attuned, but if I'm wrong, we'll say I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. I was making a joke. Because well, auto attunes if you're
That's cool.
yeah.
Let's do it. Just
I thought it was really neat, like effect it can do. It's like we are attuned now, and it's like oh dope. Cool.
Alright, then I will take sword in hand then. And well, after raging, because I've seen the situation, this is not a good situation.
Like many combat situations, it makes you mad.
Well, also seeing somebody being fucking drained by a vampire.
But yes, that probably strikes uniquely home.
I will take sword in hand and attempt to strike at Strahd.
Very well.
And
Start pulling.
since you picked up Greila, does that give me enough for flanking? I mean, there's an ally on the other side.
You can't flank with a grappled person, right?
Well,
I can still move and attack.
yes, kind of.
Should still suck her
But
attack.
if she's off the ground, I mean, it's not like she's really already footed. It's up to you.
I want to say
would
for
argue
reasons,
if
no,
they
it's
kick
not
out and
flanking.
Flash out.
Then I will attack. Oh,
He's literally lifting you off the ground.
And if someone literally lifted me off the ground, I'd break their fucking arm in real life, but
a vampire,
Life, we're not talking
a
about
supernatural
Talking about a
vampire
vampire.
picking
I
you
know
up
we're
in the
talking
air.
about a vampire.
that. Yeah.
I was also going to ask a different question, but I've forgotten, so go ahead.
Then I will attack recklessly.
Okay. Oh, actually, I remember now. No, you can continue your turn. Hey, I remember being mounted means that you can get advantage on people who aren't mounted, but
So-
do people attacking you get disadvantage?
No,
Because I
they
feel like
don't.
that's... Okay. Never mind.
Does a
I clearly need to stack the deck harder against the group.
I agree.
does a 23 hit?
I'm going to check, but I think it does.
Yeah, stacking any harder than you.
God,
already
CC is
have.
not higher than
It does.
that. Okay, excellent. Now it may not do a lot of damage because it's not magical weapon, but that's not.
You attack her with a spear?
No, I'm attacking with the sword.
Hmm.
For
The sword's gonna do
Is it?
because it's
Alright.
not too.
for 10 damage. It's not magical, so he might take it less. But the main thing is, since he's the first thing I hit on my turn, he's now surrounded.
Guardian spirits, that's true.
Yep, that was the main thing.
He'll cancel out his advantage.
And as a part of that attack, I'm going to use bonus action to use hammering horns and try and shove him off his horse. Which hopefully might mean he'll also drop Greila.
Is it a saving throw?
Yeah.
Because he can just choose to not.
It's a strength saving throw, so he might not need to.
Assuming he doesn't make a straight up, he can just legendary resistance.
You said the attack did 10 damage?
Yeah, non-magical weapon.
Okay.
It
wanna know
does
that
say
first.
I just have to hit them, I don't have to deal damage.
Put this here.
And try hammering horns, knock him off his horse. 16 saving throw. Strike.
Yeah.
19 health.
If he bites you to 0, you're dead, right?
I
What do you want from me? You're gonna die.
How many times?
Well, I mean, to be fair, Greila hasn't gotten her turn yet.
You slam into Strahd with as much force as you can muster, and you feel as if his muscles rob you of your victory, as if out of spite. It starts to give, and then becomes an iron wall.
Okay.
So
We hit him
the
again.
legendary resistance out of character.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's cooler to freeze it like that.
It is.
I know. I'm asking for clarification about that.
Oh, sorry. Because of the rage, the attack did 2 more damage.
Probably half. So
Yeah.
effectively 1 damage.
Then. Is it smarter?
Kill the wolf. Kill his animals.
Yeah. Probably would be.
If you kill the wolf, then it'll actually be disadvantage.
I will. 5.
Or, so,
You
Does the spear have reach? Like, maybe it's a special.
no.
Two.
It's a base.
Right.
You can throw
That
a
was
javelin
here.
or something.
10, 15, 20. Cool. I would have enough movement to reach here. Because I have 40 movement. So I will move here and use second attack on the wolf.
Very well.
You reckless, you still have advantage on this.
Okay. Yeah. It's all attacks. I mean, it's not like I give somebody double advantage on it. 26 to hit.
That is a hit.
For 10 damage.
Alright. Well, oops. You slash out at Strahd, drawing some curdled ichor that is likely his blood. And then you move around and finish the wolf. Once
This might be king.
you've moved around and you finish the wolf, Strahd simply snarls and drinks deeper from your friend.
Okay. If this is an attack, he has disadvantage due to being surrounded.
Which means he just balances out.
Well, would he have advantage? Because he's
He's on
not.
a horse.
I almost forgot. You almost
Is
forgot
that
me.
only on
'Cause
somebody
he-
on the ground? Because you
It,
picked him up.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I
And I only
still
remembered it because he just brought it up. Like,
I'm still gonna trade it.
And any damage that is dealt is halved. Because he's attacking somebody that is not.
Very well.
Resistance to all 2 damage.
Then Greila is simply harmed for 3 more damage.
Karma.
I believe another ally will go down. Am I correct? And then it becomes Ismark's turn.
I don't know.
I feel like we're about to be swarmed.
Well, about to be murdered, probably.
because this thing wasn't here before, so there's more coming.
No, it was. It was knocked off by an eye.
Yeah. And actually, now, this is like part of the chanting circle. There's technically like more beyond here.
And then there's all the ones who came out of the. Where are the mountains that the druids and barbarians came out of?
They like encircle this place. Like the
Oh.
hill.
So we're about to be
Yeah.
surrounded. Great.
Well, they didn't come out of like every mound. There are like a bunch of large rings that have a bunch of mounds, and there were a number of mounds like close to here that they came out of.
Where they are.
Yeah, totally. Ismark, swinging boldly, attempts to attack Strahd, but unfortunately misses. We're coming close.
Smooth. See by Greila go?
How many times have I been like 3 times?
Uh-huh.
But one was on his
Yeah,
turn.
one was on his turn. That's
So
not nice.
he has one more.
The question becomes, have you suffered enough for your insolence?
Probably. What do you want from me?
The answer,
Has somebody else brought up more insolence, I suppose?
the answer for a vampire, or at least for Strahd von Zarvich, is no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just have been doing something.
Why would he stop?
Well, you guys are starting to get in on it. Gotta be careful, you know.
He's a boss. I'm pretty sure we're doing very little to him.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this isn't actually Strahd.
Well,
but somebody.
on his turn, he's going to regenerate. So.
He
Like
drinks
he
again
did
from
when I
Greila,
did damage.
dealing 5 damage.
Half.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would have been 10. So you gotta defend your friend. We've got time.
Don't worry. He has all the time in Barovia to kill us.
My max is 20. 1d9.
Boy, does he. It
What
now,
else is
So,
there
yeah.
to do?
it now becomes Graila's turn.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'll be able to do, but
I just
did
like
you
to
go
play.
before Strahd?
No, I go after him.
Mm.
Because even when I use my 19 to get a 21, like 5 people outrolled me. Which is.
To be fair, one of them was the wolves, and the wolf is dead.
Yeah, but Strahd.
Yeah,
goes
but
before.
Strahd went before me.
That's the.
The only person who goes before Strahd is Crack.
I mean, crack can do radiant damage, so.
Grappled, drained, but not completely.
Yeah.
How will you fight back against the dark?
I probably should heal myself, honestly, but I'm not going to, because I feel like that it would just kill me in the same round anyways, just later. So I will.
Something to get him off, yeah.
I don't have anything to get off me.
Teleport would be really useful here.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
Well, if you have a flight speed,
Well,
could
I
you
would have had
theoretically
Misty stuff if
rip yourself out.
thing wasn't dead.
He can also fly, and also my movement speed is 0. So even if I like went,
grab
Wings, yeah.
right?
yeah, even if I have my wings pop out right now,
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I think we would just lose if Strahd took off his shirt and started doing that.
Took off his shirt and doing what?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
He already did that in the basic.
Trust me, I will run before that.
See, the thing is, he's automatically going to succeed against Spirit Guardians. He'll still take damage. He'll still be radiant damage.
Decide what you want to do.
You're in a tough
You've
spot.
had a long time to think about.
You're in a tough spot, but you're gonna have to punt. Make your best decision and roll with
Try
it.
to double heal yourself.
I can, but I will.
Do it or don't. Just take the action.
Yeah. If he's gonna kill me, it's only when it goes before Strahd check. I'll cast Spirit Guardians. He will take 3d8 radiant damage, but he'll succeed on the save automatically, so it'll be half what it was. Anyway, but it will be radiant, so
On his turn.
yeah.
Are you sure
So,
you'll save out of
when
it?
he enters it or on his turn, it's already ended already. So,
What's the
he-
save?
wisdom.
Well, like, what's the DC? I guess I
Oh.
should have asked.
I believe it's 16.
10. Might as well. Give it a shot.
What do you mean that?
Yeah, because if he saves normally, he doesn't need to legendary resistance.
Yeah.
Well, if he's how many? I mean, I
17.
guess
Legendary resistances? Are you gonna ask how many legendary resistance they have? It's 3. Everyone has 3. Everyone who has legendary resistance gets 3.
and that refreshes on their turn.
That's
17 if
okay.
he failed, which
Legendary.
obviously he did not, so it will be 8.
For some reason, that legendary resistance.
He did not.
is a legendary action.
Despite wisdom and divinity being against him, he defies
Yeah.
the conventional means.
So he takes
Probably
radiant.
proficient.
Maybe one of the wolves.
I'm gonna be surprised if his stats.
You said 17 if
Worse.
he failed it. But
Oh, 8 radiant if he succeeds.
Wait, is it 17 that failed?
Yeah, it's 17 if
It
failed.
runs down.
I know. Oh yeah. I'm doing the math wrong. So yeah. So 7.
Wait. No, sorry. You did it right. 17 would be 16, which would be 8.
Yeah.
His horse. If his horse
So
is a
eight.
combatant.
Oh yeah, his horse too
Technically.
takes the damage as well.
Yeah,
And-
wound's probably the only thing he cares about in the world. So that's why we do that.
His horse will be fine. I'm sure it's not gonna. It's not gonna
Piss
be
him
bad.
off?
It's just not gonna explode.
He's already pissed off. What's gonna you get more mad and kill me harder? I'm already gonna die.
Maybe he's holding
He
back.
hasn't used a single spell slot yet. If he wanted to speed this up, he could just start throwing fireballs and be like, well,
He could have beat us already if he
He
wanted
can just throw
to,
fireballs
but
at
he
his
does not.
feet because he's immune to fire.
yeah. I think it's not a
resistant.
Well, if he's on his horse, it might just give him immunity.
The horse gives resistance.
Right,
the
stacking
knowledge that you
resistances
guys
don't
have.
give you immunity.
Anyway.
As much as I would love a moment where that happens and he just doesn't do anything. I mean, maybe he still can. Who knows?
The reason I chose to do this instead of the other thing I was thinking about just before my character dies is because, well, here's the thing. If you would have gone first, I definitely would have done the other thing because it would have made more of a difference. Because the other thing I was thinking about doing was this, especially since I'm within 30 feet of him. But,
Is this a generic cleric spell?
yes,
Really?
yes,
I thought it was paladin specific.
no,
Oh, dude.
Shit.
Turn
Yeah, that would have been
on
really
deck.
nice.
yeah,
But
but
again, you also
Yeah.
could have cast that as we came up over the hill, like I was pre-casting.
yeah, but I was gonna originally use Spirit Guardians, but in this situation, the other thing would be better if you had gone first. All those things coming into range take
I mean,
damage.
I was casting all these spells before
Wait,
I went in.
this?
You could have.
Both of them?
I know.
How big is it?
It only lasts.
Big enough.
How big is Spirit Guardians?
No, that one only lasts a minute.
15.
15 feet.
So it hits both.
Cube radius.
Hey,
Radius.
And the speed is cut in
what
half.
space is this one?
Radius.
Where was the enemy? Was here, right?
I think
Okay, then it's there.
they're not. They're going there until they're allies, so I'm looking at first. And then I'm gonna follow.
My guy's AC is 15.
Okay.
This is why you move away, because otherwise they could have just fucking raided me. Which is what I thought they were going to do, to be honest.
So Spirit Guardians deals damage to people entering it?
Yep.
Oh, that's your thing. Okay. You said it, so I thought maybe it was like something of yours.
No, it's just called.
Do you want me to re-roll them or do you just want to go with the same 17? I could re-roll them for each thing or...
Go ahead and reroll. It's still like a save, right?
Yeah.
AC 16 was 16.
So 9. Wait, does it add my? It doesn't add my. Okay, so 9 for 1 if it fails, and 4 if it succeeds.
Okay.
For other ones. Oh, I don't know why. 16 if it succeeds, 8 if it fails. For the other one.
One of them succeeded, the first one, and one of them failed.
When they come into range, their speed is cut in half. So however much movement they have left, it gets cut in half.
Okay.
They will have like 50 feet. They'll probably get there.
Yeah, they'll probably still reach in this specified.
Right. That's fair.
If you're moving and then you start getting your speed cut in half like that, does it cut your maximum or what you have left?
It just it counts as difficult terrain, so it starts at that point.
Hey, could I get a reminder of your IC?
50.
Okay.
But it has advantage due to me attacking you recklessly. I'm already flying. So it's just.
At least for this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as one of the
let me get for
allies-
later.
Why are they attacking my sons? Bullshit.
They kind of
One of the
solo
wolves.
one of the wolves.
Moves in, and bites at Siguror, unfortunately successfully. In addition to dealing damage, I will also want a strength saving throw.
You have advantage on this range. Look at another D20. I'm gonna grab another D20 for advantage on this.
Saving throw, right?
Yeah.
That is a 15.
As Siguror is bitten into, taking technically 4 damage from your rage, the wolf attempts to haul you off your feet, though you hold strong.
AC on my guys is 15. Their strength saves are really low, so I'll probably work.
Right, just their attacks get a decent bonus to it. Right?
This wolf moves in, attempts to bite. There are multiple here, right?
2.
Yeah, like the things are how many there are.
Okay. Attempts to sink its teeth into one of your servants, but fails to do so. It's too nimble for it.
Growing Wagner.
Yeah,
I'll say it attempts to bite Hammer Bro, and is unsuccessful.
touch this.
I believe I moved this wolf first, so the other wolf wasn't there when this attack happens, which means it's just an attack. However, it is a successful attack.
How much damage?
Eight damage.
Okay. Glasses has some shot ripped out.
And I guess also a strength saving throw from Glasses.
14.
Glasses manages to hold his feet even in his damaged state.
Half of him is ripped off. And like start batting it on the nose and get away.
Another wolf comes to that wolf's aid.
Is it also attacking Glasses?
Yes.
Fuck. Those guys.
Dealing a critical blow.
Glasses?
Never summoning glasses again. You die.
I can't.
For
It's gonna
15
shatter
damage.
into a billion pieces.
Maybe damage on the walls.
Fuck. As the glass shatters into a million pieces. And,
Becomes chip.
It became chip on the first attack.
Ah. Yeah,
as
can't call it
it
crap
does,
now.
the rest of them start like grunting and like angrily.
You can't really call them crack. That was weird.
Kill Glasses.
That's my favorite.
Like, nice.
Savvy?
Who's that?
Your servants' cries of anguish are joined by the uproarious calls of the dancing druids in the distance.
Oh yeah, you know the druids that are summoning another boss. I seem to remember in a game something almost exactly like this situation, ending with us all dying.
Yeah.
Crazy how that happens.
It is very crazy how that happens. If it makes you feel any better, we're gonna take a quick break.
I hate you.
Come on, you can't just kill us now.
And we're back. It is Crack's turn.
Okay. Use a movement effect on Greila.
No, that's not how that works.
It's not. Are you sure?
Wolf in my
It's the
space
person's ground.
where I can't move. Is that wolf in my space so I can't move? Kinda.
The wolf is here, so you can move.
Yeah, you're not threatened.
You will not. Yeah. You are currently unthreatened, at least by the rules, by other enemies.
Run over by Mario's like fireballs and both.
I'm not gonna move over by
Just
my. I'm gonna
joking.
move close that way.
What? It's a joke. I'm not being serious.
No, that's strong. Looking out. I'm gonna.
Out. This
You're
way?
gonna bail?
No, I'm not gonna bail.
How far?
Far enough away. I'm gonna get disadvantage on freaking range attacks.
Oh,
Just gonna
you
keep-
could have keep blasted from there actually.
Yeah, you were not near any enemies. You could stay here and keep blasting.
Yeah, I could say that, but the wolf can just kind of threaten.
You
So you
can
wanna
keep
back up
blast
30
and then
feet?
move.
30 feet, yeah.
The
Move 30
wolf
feet.
does have 50 movement.
You could keep blast and then move your full distance away. Jen.
Crack
You can also move keep blasting.
backs up.
This is
I'll keep this. I want to do it on Strahd because if I'm gonna at least die, I'm gonna hit the fucking boss.
Okay.
You're gonna attempt to hit the boss.
I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go down swinging!
I'm pretty sure I'll probably miss, but we'll see. Oh shit, 26.
That is a hit.
Fortune, it's not that great.
Hey, it's still prevent.
He
This is
doesn't
considered
get his-
radius.
He doesn't get his extra damage to Strahd.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well then that.
7.
Strahd. Okay.
What? Spoilers?
Yeah, really take it.
No.
Fuck.
My bad. We're gonna have to repeat.
But hey, since he's got radiant, regenerate.
He already would regenerate. I hit him with radiant already.
This is true.
It doesn't
I
sound.
think he doesn't have some sort of fight.
Yeah. Hold on.
That is also a hit. This is another key blast.
Yeah, on Strahd. So 8, 10. And I'll just spend a key one.
Okay.
20.
That is a hit.
8. On Strahd.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Crack backs up and then sends a hail of key blasts in Strahd's direction, each one striking and sizzling his flesh beneath his cloth.
Get down, you dull bastard.
It becomes Strahd's turn. He sneers derisively.
Goodbye, world.
No, just he could still miss.
No. He has.
He doesn't have.
He doesn't have the advantage, but he will not miss. Okay, maybe. He won't miss again.
There's perhaps a moment, an awkward moment, where perhaps the moment gets to him and he, like his fangs relent slightly, only for him to realize his distraction and renew his assault on Greila. You have a thing up that halves.
It's until the start of my turn.
Okay. Inflicting 2 damage.
I expected more, but
He's high.
yeah,
Me
that's
too.
true. I was expecting that.
He then
Technically, he attacked me 3 times last time because he attacked me, and then he grappled me, and then he bit me.
The grapple could have just been.
Part of the attack.
and
Don't you normally have to get when you attack the grapple?
Vine blights and that.
Pressing blind blights.
when you're grappling somebody and they move with you. Yeah, I'm not misremembering
Yeah,
that.
but you can only move at half speed, and he already has to move at half speed.
But he's on his horse.
His horse has to move at half speed.
But the horse wouldn't have
Yeah,
to
the horse
half speed
wouldn't.
like drop it to
Yeah.
get him though.
That's
So
true.
effectively he is at half speed, but
Besides, this place isn't the first like it. And perhaps if I were smarter, Jay would have had to move first.
Nope.
That's not
No. He moved with an unearthly swiftness.
He's just immune to opportunity attacks. They're like
horse,
awesome
no,
or
horse
something.
might be.
Could also be an legendary action.
Yeah. It then becomes Sasha's turn.
Okay. So my guys are gonna go and do their attacks and shit, and I guess I'll roll that now. The yellows, basically these will be one, these will be another, these will be another. So I'm rolling 3 of their attacks at once
Okay.
with the same matching Just take
Okay.
and they'll attack this one. Okay, so the first three will attack this one, and they got respectively a 22, a 23, and a 22 to hit, and dealt 7, 4, and 4.
Alright.
If Strahd moved me, those things came into my space. Also, they have to take the damage as well. The wolf that's within range. He is
From your effect. It's not when you move into theirs, it's when they move into yours. So if you walk up, it is triggered
Or
yeah.
when they start doing
No, make it.
Um,
Then I
try to
remember
it's
when
still
they got-
up after that.
It is.
Okay. Then 3 more attacks. That got respectively a 24.
I'm sorry, actually, it wasn't.
Actually, they all got 24. Oh wait, it was down?
Yes.
Okay.
My
Then
apologies.
the 3 will attack this one, and they all got 24, surprisingly. And dealt 7, 6, or 7, 5, and 4. And if that killed the other one, I assume it kills this one as well.
I wouldn't be. Yep.
Because I did 1 more damage. Okay, so 2 of those die. These 2 will attack this one. So I'll just roll these. And got respectively a 18 and a 12, unfortunately.
One of those is a hit.
Okay, the 12 is,
Yes.
that is unfortunate. 7 damage. Yeah, as effectively
It was also this one.
Yeah. So Knife Guy, Forkford, and Cuphead killed the first one by respectively stabbing, charging, and eye bashing, and then MacLeod, Stabby, and Twignificent got the other one with another eye gouge, a face stab, and a neck choke. Twignificent was like, and just started choking the wolf. And then Hammer Brother and Gordon. Hammer Brother missed, but Gordon whacked this one in the paw. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Unseen Servant move me towards Irina as a double move, because that's the only way I can reach her. And then since it's not an attack, can I do something?
What is it?
I'm going to pull my dagger, grab her, put it to her throat, and I will say, "Stop now!" And I'm going to attempt to get him to pause. And I'll push the dagger to her, not hard enough, but hard enough to get my message across.
I suppose so. Out of character, is this actually, you do so.
Okay, and can I roll? Intimidate, maybe? Or would you want a deception?
I would want deception if you're not actually going to do it.
So the
Or
thing is,
persuasion if you are.
perform?
Because I'm going to say persuasion, to persuade him you're really going to do it. Because, spoilers, he's probably going to be doubtful that you're actually going to. And I would say deception if you totally aren't going to.
so the thing is that it entirely depends. Because if he kills another, if we're all gonna die, then I do it so that she doesn't become his bride. That being said, it's not really that. So I would say right now it's a deception.
Okay.
And for my roll, I got an 18, and I don't have anything, and that's my other part.
Okay.
This is
Would it change anything if I told you that I was going to have you roll with advantage, given her importance to him?
Then actually, you know what? I'll try to look it up.
Because you can roll and then decide the part.
No, I can't.
Oh.
But with advantage, I'm willing to take that risk, because if anything else on the next turn, I can really mean it and fucking use the 18 then. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with advantage. That was a bad decision, Lucky. Come on. Don't fucking do this to me. No! 6. That is outrageous. He gets an insight check.
He could roll 1, maybe.
I should have just used the fucking... I should have just used the fucking 18.
I mean, maybe he's not proficient.
What'd you say you got?
6.
Maybe he's not proficient in insight.
Or maybe his physical.
If he rolls a 1, it might work. I doubt it though. Oh my god. He's not gonna believe me.
His eyes narrow, and it is not a look of fear upon his face, but a look of annoyance. He raises his mouth far enough to articulate. Despite your blood, you are quickly and efficiently trying my patience. I am wounded that you continue to squander the hospitality that I afford you and your people. And if you continue to push this, I cannot guarantee that I will consider you a brother in my eyes any longer.
You're the fireball, dude, so yeah, that highly of brothers.
I don't say anything because I assume that's my turn. Call my bluff. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, fine.
This one doesn't say.
I tried.
He's currently
She's
just
gonna
really
die.
upset, but like he can't articulate it. Like he
You're super gonna die.
he understands, but also doesn't like this.
It's so not fine. God damn it. Part of me wants to know what he rolled, and part of me doesn't want to know what he rolled.
Well, I rolled on the table and he got 5 plus something.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I know because now I know if I had used the 18, it would have fucking worked.
Oh, I didn't hear that second part. My bad.
God fucking damn it. I can't believe I have advantage and lucky. I roll a 5, a 6, and a 6.
Your dice doesn't monkey right now.
No, they don't.
I think they just don't like you doing, like,
Hey,
situation checks.
Spirit, your thing doesn't follow people, right?
No, it does. It stays on that person until the start of my turn.
Lame.
Otherwise, it would be.
I wanted advantage on this. Because he's gonna
Well, he gets
he gets something.
4 damage. Probably gonna fly in the air to get away from fucking Siguror.
I probably didn't have to.
I'm doing my best.
It's also probably not a huge annoyance.
No, I didn't know.
Supposed to just grab it.
So can they take legendary actions between people's turns? If you solo a boss and have legendary actions, they can only take 1 legendary action.
Yeah.
That's weird. But
Yeah.
I guess so.
This is true though. They still have double the actions that you have though, so
Yeah.
it's still an advantage.
With a look of contempt, he turns back to his deed and inflicts 17 points of damage upon Grit.
So that's
With the bite?
half to 8.
Yes.
Okay. Can
Oh.
you crit?
Damn.
It's cut in half.
I forgot about that. My bad. I got ahead of myself. So it's half.
So 8.
Hey.
I
Guess
used
how
to like-
much HP I have. I have one HP. Hold on. That is so ridiculous. I kind of wish you just killed me so it'd be over already.
You're so fucking. Oh, roll your concentration.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Then it's going to become somebody else's.
Failed that concentration check because I rolled a 1.
Sorry, buddy. I tried. I didn't try hard enough.
Oh, but
I could've
Strahd
saved-
started his turn, so he still took
this
damage
is-
from your thing.
No, that's. Yeah, he did
Yeah,
before.
he did. I don't remember if I re-rolled the damage, but he did take the hits.
It becomes Irina's turn. She... Well, okay, you feel her body move against yours. Like, it shifts, like, just a tiny bit. You know that you have her, and you know it's, air quotes, her turn, but she is uncertain of what to do. Ismark calls out, "Quick, get away from him!"
You can't really yell back, "It's a bluff!" Calm down, Ismark. Strahd's like, "Yeah, Ismark, take a fucking chill pill already."
You're ruining
No.
the moment.
I'm just joking.
Fucking shit.
Whatever
she wants, I'm not gonna stop her if she moves. I mean, I can't stop her.
Yeah. Check. If you think you can hold on to her.
Well, here's the thing. She doesn't go. She's uncertain of what to do, and she doesn't want to hamper whatever you're doing. And without any signal otherwise, she tries to maybe stick to her guns, or your guns. Which then makes it Sigurdur's turn. Or it would, if something else didn't happen right now.
Because he has another legendary action.
Or the timer's done.
No. It's Strahd.
Fuck.
Sorry, buddy.
He's
How
got
long
3.
does it take to turn into a vampire spawn? Is it immediate?
That's a knowledge religion.
You want me to make it right before I spot it?
It's, you're done.
I know. I had 1 HP. If anything hit me, I was done.
Well, like, I assume that your AC is not like 18
It's 17.
or higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
I just
assuming a
thought
lot
of
of these
something.
hit because he gets a good amount of it.
Yeah.
You could have
That's what he
taken
has,
the
like, a
dodge
+2.
action on your... No, it wouldn't have
No,
done
it
anything.
wasn't work.
No, I mean, it wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, because it's things.
Yeah.
Things are doing.
Damn. But I'm like imagining that's funny. Is there a rule that says you can't take the dodge action if you're being grappled?
You can take dodge action.
It is Strahd von Zarovich's fangs.
Yeah.
It 5 necrotic damage after the reduction.
Don't worry about it. I'm dead.
And plunges you into darkness.
That's fine, dude. Greila is dead.
Sigurdur's turn will now happen properly.
Okay,
Can I roll that? Or don't worry about it. I'm dead anyway, right? So.
And once that happens, you see, like, he drops Graila's now lifeless body to the floor. Sasha, like, hears a thud. And some other people's reactions.
Well, shit.
Do you ever take anything that you want to articulate?
It's not my turn yet, but I have a question. Do I know what happened at Perez? Or whatever it's called?
It's called Briss.
It pissed them off, right?
Yeah.
And everyone died?
Yeah.
So my character is probably of the assumption that we're probably all dead. It's not too big of a leap of logic. Okay.
at least maybe you for
Well,
threatening.
it might be. One of you explicitly
Is that
disrespected him.
right? Alright.
Depending on his whims, maybe?
Attack him 3 times, then attack him 3 times. How is he not?
Anyway, that was just a side question.
Yeah.
Please continue with
I mean, I'm just gonna.
It's possible that you're not all dead.
Sorry, buddy.
Nah. I don't feel bad. I did it myself.
I feel bad. I should have fucking used my portent.
Hindsight's 2020. You couldn't have known that.
Hindsight's 2020 and I'm blind.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the wolves is going to take an attack opportunity.
Yeah. Nah, I was good.
Actually,
Did I feel like my sword didn't have a lot of bite to it when it hit him?
you've been feeling that there's been some resistance here.
Then slightly change it. Just the first one would be taking the new spirit and throwing it at him, and then rushing it and swinging at him.
It's not magical this year, too.
I mean, I know that.
It's not.
I
I was
know that.
unaware, but yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah. Then it changes nothing.
So just.
Well,
so I hate to be the bearer of
would
bad
you know
news.
that?
Well, that's true. I mean, your character doesn't.
How much experience
probably
do you
doesn't
have
know the
magical items?
Yeah,
the innate workings of magic items.
I mean, I would assume this thing's obviously magical. So it's magic. And magic works better on vampires than not.
Alright. We'll go ahead and make that the attack then.
That would be recklessly. Basically, from now on, everything's going to be recklessly, unless it's pointless.
David,
Which is much better.
if you want me to reroll a character, am I a local?
Should probably ask after.
Probably after.
Boy, should you.
What would be the damage die for it? It would be,
I believe it's a d6.
and it's, since this is a martial, spiritual martial or something.
Huh?
Spiritual martial or something.
I didn't write that down.
Why would it matter?
Why?
Proficiency bonus or not.
You're proficient in all weapons. Because of that.
Oh, are they?
26 to hit.
That will be a hit.
And, I'm sorry, what was the damage die? I said?
D6.
For 4.
That's your strength.
Right. 11. Because
That's
also
a big leap.
raging.
You throw. The spear like rips like an errant shoulder as Strahd like eyes you and gives you another look of indignance like
And surrounded from the spear, because first thing I hit.
cheeky. When you move, one of the wolves attempts to rip at you, which inflicts 8 damage as you move in to attack proper.
Reduce?
Well, yes.
Okay. Making sure.
I remember to reduce it once. Not this time.
Do I need to make this save against it, or is that only if it attacks?
I'm assuming that their knockdown thing isn't on attacks of opportunity, so no.
Okay. And then swing it out. That is 2 you've taken from me. Almost crit. It was 27 to hit.
That is it.
For 11 damage. And I'll try and knock over his horse, since knocking him doesn't seem to do anything.
Very well.
16 is the strength DC.
You slam into his horse. If something that has legendary resistances is on a mount, do they share it? Because I feel like nah, but just to make sure.
I would argue that if he counted as having mounted combat, then he could roll the save for his horse and his legendary resistance for that. Otherwise, probably not. But the, the nightmare might.
Mounted combatant, that would make sense. You're just associated with your mount.
You slam and almost knock it over, but he's able to steady his horse.
I have no idea what to do. Even if we run, then they just fucking bring Winter Splitter back and we don't get the gem anyway. Also, Graila's dead.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn into a vampire.
There's the giant Strahd effigy. We could try pushing. Where is it? Here somewhere?
No, it's back.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it was like here.
You'd have to leave to do something to that.
So it's, damn. See, I was kind of just thinking, man, if it was here, it's 50 feet high. We just knock it over and push it over in this direction.
It's now Ismark's turn.
Ismark run over us and attacks me. Dude, come on.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think what would be the best here. Ismark
Really?
Can't
Guy.
even reach you.
rushes towards Irina and attempts to rip her from Sasha's grip. I don't know why I picked it too.
So, opposed athletics check?
Yes, but it's gonna be between Irina and him.
Oh.
Irina wants to be useful and knows what you're doing. Ismark, for whatever reason, does not have as much faith in your tactics.
This is a racist against Vistani.
No.
I know. I'm just fine.
He might not be. I mean, we don't know. Maybe it was them that started the lesser thing.
Sasha
Might be a little
hears
sour.
footsteps, hears Ismark's voice. What are you doing? Get out of here! And then you feel like Irina, you can feel since you're like body to body that she like tries to resist him but isn't quite able as he kind of half grapple, half shove, like gets her out of your grip.
Well, that kills that plan.
She calls to him, "No, you don't understand." He says, "I understand plenty. We must run."
Sure.
Well, I mean, if Strahd didn't. He had some reservations that probably broke it.
However, Strahd, with an unearthly speed, upon his fiery seed,
Yeah, this is what. Yeah.
Thanks, Ismark.
moves to cut
Thanks.
them off and says, "You will not run anywhere that I do not permit." It then becomes two wolves' turns.
Coward! Fucking running away.
One attacks one of the servants, and one is going to move to flank. But first, the one.
Fucking, can you
Throw and gore.
He would have, actually, he'd have advantage anyway because of pack tactics. Strahd's right there.
Ah,
So,
Ah, that was only with other rules.
my bad.
it's with anything.
It does say allies.
Yeah.
I just wasn't
That's
thinking.
why my paladin's lion mount always has advantage because I'm on its back, so I'm within 5
Why
feet.
is it pack tactics too? I mean, that makes sense, but. Huh.
You said AC 15?
15.
Then it attempts to snack on the crowbar is one of the two
Yeah.
here. It attempts to snack on Gordon, but is unsuccessful, if barely.
That was like a wolf
Moves.
by the crowbars. Not gonna work.
That proves true, as another one attempts to rectify its former mistake, but Gordon proves too adept. It then becomes Crack's turn. Oh, actually, before it becomes Crack's turn, the chanting from the circle becomes higher. There's There's a bolt of lightning that strikes.
This is so.
Oh!
It becomes Crack's turn.
I think which ones? Which is the thing that needs to be going after the most? I don't even know at this point. Because I can reach them.
I have no idea.
I was thinking it was just attacking Strahd, even though I know it's a failure move.
I have no.
Do what you
If you're expecting me to have a plan, I don't.
I don't expect you to have fun. I don't have fun.
I was just trying to pull paper out of the fireplace.
Can I get within 30 feet of Strahd?
You got like 40 movement?
Yeah.
So you said get within 30 feet?
Yeah. For key balls.
Yeah.
Or
Like you just have to move 10
something
feet.
Alright. I'll do that. I'm talking.
You move up. Assault Strahd once again.
Or I don't. I got 11 on this one. On the first attack.
Unfortunately, that's a miss. You fire, and it streaks off in the darkness.
Okay, I got 12 on the next one.
You fire again, but another miss.
Key wise. Key point. Alright,
You
one
draw
more.
deep and attempt to assault him once more.
I don't. I got a natural one.
Wow.
Okay.
The third one streaks off into the night. Strahd watches.
Now Strahd can just go up and in with a fireball. Most of us.
He, Strahd, now goes. After seeing the attempt, says, "Perhaps I was wrong. Or perhaps the chill of the night has shaken you somewhat." He then turns his attention to Irina. "And as for you, I think I've tolerated that guise long enough." And with a flick of his wrist, like her hair turns like back to its original color and constitutes like out to its length. Sasha's being tipped off because he hears Irina murmur, My hair."
Well, shit.
"Though I assure you, if you wish to try new appearances, there are some at Castle Ravenloft that may suit you quite beautifully."
God damn it. It's all downhill from
He
here.
then turns his attention to Ismark.
It's already down, you know. We already lost a player.
He's gonna kill us.
Yeah.
This is a fucking nightmare.
In fact, it was downhill from the start.
And you. I believe I have tolerated your outbursts for long enough, boy.
That's so wait.
I know. It's just a phrase, boy, in that time, please.
But they're like Strahd's like fucking 500 something.
I don't know how it is.
If you're calculating, he can hit me, my guys, and his mark with a fireball without hitting Irina. If that's what you're looking at.
I wasn't. I was thinking about something else. Yeah?
Yeah, if he targets it right here, it'll hit all these guys, me, and his mark.
And
Just
Greila
barely
out of
missed.
sight.
Oh,
Greila out of sight.
and actually Siguror too.
Oh, well,
So
fuck
he could,
me.
yeah, and Grayla's corpse out of sight. I'd be able to counterspell. But I'm blind.
It's better than I was thinking.
I'm sorry, I thought that's what he was looking at.
Nah, he was just gonna do advanced command. Kill yourself.
Yes, of course.
If he's throwing it out, then my deck save is a 20. And he's around a 20 on that. And if you tell me his DC is higher than 20, I'm gonna be really upset.
I'm just gonna be sad.
Yeah, he says 24. Eat shit. Why? Why did you do this?
Thought something else was happening. As he conjures infernal magics, he asks him, did you expect leaving your villa to end any differently? Seeking comfort in the arms of Blackie, out here amongst the woods, at that pitiful vineyard. Wherever you run, your destined end was the same. Strangers are no strangers.
Run.
My tiny servants got a 12, 19, 17, 16, 6, and 23 respectively.
Damn.
On their dexterity saving throws. Well, actually, I guess I should wait to see how much damage it does, because it does 32 damage.
It is going to do more than that.
Oh,
So, never mind.
Now, I didn't quite get the saves, though. Oh.
Well, it doesn't matter if it does more than 32, even with a successful save, they take 16.
Oh, that's what you meant, okay.
Which means Knife Guy, Forkford, Cuphead, Bookman, Stabby, and Twignificent explode into cinder in pieces.
What did you get?
18. You got like an auto.
I got a 20.
Who knows? Maybe Ismark can save and survive a fireball. Maybe I don't know. We don't know his HP.
Are you sure you can hit Ismark in that arena? Because
Yeah, yes. If he hits again, maybe his mark another.
If anything, you just move him one square up.
So, you were both successful in your saves. Not to ruin the tension.
Okay.
So,
I guess I got this. Because I thought I got an 18 on the first 25. But I could totally be wrong.
the two of you take 17 damage. Ismark takes considerably more.
Okay, so I take 17, so that's my flow.
If I may consult this for no reason whatsoever.
For no reason.
For no reason.
He took this fireball from Mama Gracie, the last one.
Well, he didn't
Well,
know.
I made a save and I had 10 hit points.
Did
Also
he
high
seem to
level.
upcast this one like the last one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So what happens to the corpse if you discard it?
Becomes more of a corpse.
Realistically.
I don't think corpses have hardness.
It's still going to come back to
survival.
vampire. That's what you're thinking
I don't know, I'm just curious.
Ismark is brutally burned, forced to take a knee. He's still alive.
Holy shit! I am surprised.
of. Badass. I thought he was dead for sure.
Spawns can return. Even if it did
Yeah,
damage it.
spawns regenerate. Door regenerate.
chanting hard, fear creeping into his expression of normal defiance. His mark is beginning to falter. It then becomes Sasha's turn.
Okay. Has he grabbed Irina yet?
He is not.
If I put... I'm gonna use a... That's not gonna work. Because of his fucking horse. Ugh. Shit. Just gonna put up the fake wall of fire and just run, but he can fly, we can't get away.
Yeah, something like that.
It takes half damage. Well, it wouldn't be a real wall of fire.
Yeah.
And that's what I was referring to when I said about his fucking horse. Okay, I'm basically gonna send these guys. They can't attack yet, but I'm gonna rush them down there so that they can at least try to stop the ritual before we die.
Okay.
Or actually, they can go 30, 60 feet. Where's the
I
effigy?
believe it's an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it is.
And
But there's two of them, so they can't attack them
the
both.
effigy is back this way,
Okay.
but they're performing the ritual around the
That
big,
fucked up
dark
tree.
what you would recognize
Where is
as
the
a Golthias tree.
Okay, is the glow coming from there?
No. There's like a glow coming from like the chest of the effigy, but they're doing the ritual here.
Okay, then I'm gonna send my guys towards the effigy, and basically the command I'm gonna give them, which they will repeat even if I die, is to find the gem and then run it back into the woods, and they can't get all the way back to the woods and wines because it's days away. But I'm gonna have them take it into the woods and bury it. Just get it away from the druids. What Sasha is going to do is fucking attack the Golthias tree. Can the Golthias tree make a dexterity saving throw, or would something that requires a dexterity saving throw just work automatically?
I'd imagine work automatically.
It's just an object.
Okay, then I will use catapult.
Is what you're doing in range?
Yeah. I will cast catapult, and I will catapult a vial of oil at the Golthias tree, dealing 3d8 damage and coating it in oil. And then on my next turn, I'm going to do the same thing with Alchemist Fire. And as I do, as I incant the spell, Precious, Alia, Pharaoh, I will say, RUN! And I am going to attempt to move 30 feet back. That'll keep me in range on, well, A, it's as far as I can move, and after I'll be able to on my next turn cast catapult and throw a fucking thing of Alchemist Fire at the Golthias tree. Hopefully lighting it on fire will stop it, I don't know.
Strahd is about to stop you.
Is he gonna cast counterspell like a fucking big old bitch? Okay, well,
Oh my god.
you know I'd be able to counterspell for this blind!
Yeah. What was he gotta get to stop you?
He doesn't. It's less. It's a third level or lower spell, so it works automatically.
Duh.
Fucking shit.
You incant, and with dexterous
Nice.
fingers and dexterous tongue, it
Okay.
is quelled.
They're players.
Okay, you know what?
Players.
Can I have done that first then,
Okay.
before sending my guys off? Or
Sure.
can I change the? Okay.
What?
Or you
what
know what?
I'll
Actually,
say is
that those still keep going that way. I'm gonna hand both of my things of Alchemist Fire and Acid to my unseen servant, and I will mentally command it to sneak over to the tree and fucking light it on fire.
oh, to the tree instead of
The Golthias tree.
Okay.
No, these two are gonna go. Sorry, my tiny servants are gonna go to the effigy. My unseen servant is gonna go to the Goliath tree with the alchemist fire. Hopefully, in the chaos of the battle, just sneaking up to it and just pour it out. Just because I can't cast catapult because someone is
And
just the
these guys
worst.
are all distracted because they're casting.
When you attempt to catapult with Dexter's fingers and Dexter's tongue, he does silence the spell, and you hear from his direction, I am insulted that you would produce such weak magics after you've graced me with such strong ones. Do not tell me the night air has gotten to you as well.
Suck my dick, Strahd. Do not say that in character.
Perhaps it would be well advised for you all to stand down and simply enjoy this time that we spend.
You have killed always for reasoning this night.
It is Irina's turn, and I'm not super sure what she's going to do.
Are the rules for improvised weapon not in players?
Why would improvised weapons matter?
Because I have a big old thing of oil as well.
You just throw. You would make a ranged attack roll.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
You should still be able to use your strength on the attack.
That's why I was using catapults. My strength sucks.
Isn't that like a
Also,
like big oil is versatile?
Irina. Irina, uncertain of what exactly to do, did you explain to her, like, the damage that the breath does? Or did you give her any reason to believe it would be stronger than her sword, even with resistance? She's about to attack Strahd, and she's weighing that. She would swing at him, and she's going, well, fire breath. Well, I was told the effect was lessened.
yeah, it's up to her.
You
I don't know.
like a wolf.
I don't know what she adds to her sword strength. Even half the fire breath might be better.
If left up to her, she's just going to swing.
Well, I mean, she would hit
Then yes.
3 things with the breath: the horse, Strahd, and the wolf.
The horse is probably fine.
Yeah. But if I remember correctly, that wolf is fucked up from Hammergrow and Gordon.
She takes a swing at Strahd, and what is potentially more impressive is that she manages to connect.
Huh.
She gets like a little gash on his cheek. He looks, and it is a look of somberness, maybe. I don't know. It's a little difficult to explain until the cut closes and other wounds upon him begin to undo themselves.
Because nobody dealt radiant damage this time.
Well, actually,
Yeah, no, we did.
This is
something
different.
else, yeah.
Oh.
someone did.
Yes,
He
this
puts a hand to his cheek and says, my dear, I do not approve. And as a last courtesy, raising his voice and like turning in Sasha's direction, I am afraid that I was not completely honest in our contest before. I had not hoped to dishearten you in our exchange. To harm one such as myself is no small feat, even if temporary.
He basically saying, "You're doing well. Don't run."
Alas, it has been some time since I've truly shared company with those even a stone's throw away from decent opponents. And, well, there's nothing that I can say except I am sorry. And now, I will combat you in earnest from here forward.
Oh.
That, you have my promise.
Okay.
Yeah, so I should know I'm 30 feet this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Actually, I think you're
I moved
more.
at the end of my. Yeah, I'm more.
Yeah.
moved.
I think you're like fucking 50 or something off.
No,
You were
I was here, so I'm 5, 10,
Oh.
20, 25. Technically, I'm on this.
It is now Sigurd's turn.
You do what he says you're gonna fight.
5, 10,
Well, he said he's gonna fight us for real now.
25, 30, 35, right? 5, 10,
It will now be in earnest, and he is sorry.
Yeah.
Time has dulled,
35.
perhaps his sense
Okay.
of honor.
You said the what?
15. I'll move here. Swing it half.
Very well.
Recklessly.
It's-
Never not gonna be recklessly at this point.
That look is full of blame, by the way, but you know.
18
I
or
guess.
19. Okay. That is a 27 to hit.
That will be a hit.
8.
Did Arena not try to move after your turn? Because I yelled to run, even if my spell failed.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
For 15 damage.
Out of character, I did forget, but I'm going to say that she's afraid of moving away from him.
And if I'm going to throw an improvised weapon, basically a big ass vial of oil at a tree, noticing what you were doing and thinking, if we can't win one battle, we can win the other one.
We're not gonna win
Maybe.
that battle either.
Maybe. Do you need to roll to try and hit it?
This thing, I'm not super clear on the rules of how far you can throw something.
How far is the tree
I-
from where he is?
So, I mean, if anything, I can move closer.
If it's within 60 and he reckless attacks, he can get it there.
You can reckless attack throwing something if it's not a weapon.
Yeah.
Well, okay. It is within
It's
60
not an
feet.
improvised weapon, it's just a weapon.
Oh,
It is within 60 feet. So you could.
okay.
You'll take disadvantage unless you reckless it, because it's 60 feet.
Yeah. I already reckless attacked him, so. That is a 17 to hit. Tree. I mean, I don't know how much it's.
I'm gonna call it a hit.
Okay. What even damage would it be?
I don't know any damage, it just comes in oil, which means it'll light up because you're my time. If my unseen servant gets there and fucking pours out the alchemist fire.
Sounds logical to me.
I should note they can't see the unseen servant, but they can see the pouch that the alchemist fire is in.
That's
But
what I
they
was
might
gonna
be
ask
too
about.
distracted to notice.
They are not, so I was gonna give it a stealth roll
I mean, if
Okay.
these guys are
Do you
all
want me to
currently
roll
casting a
something?
ritual.
if. Actually, yeah, sure.
Just normally?
Yes, and the druids are casting, but there are a number of barbarians that are just standing around.
Got him now.
Maybe notice anyone.
And used my second lucky.
Oh yeah, surrounded again. First thing I hit.
Very well.
No, that's gonna be the course for everything. First thing I hit, and then
Once you lash out at Strahd and connect, it says, an honest blow.
motherfucker, I can't hold back.
No, he's referring to how all your blows weren't real, and now it's real. He is congratulating you. from atop his fiery horse.
Is no one else gonna run? Or are y'all just gonna stand
No,
there and
I was just doing that to try and help the plan, because if that thing goes up, then I'm cool with running, but I don't want to run by myself.
You're not. I'm already running.
No,
I'm
I
on
mean,
a different bar.
I mean, try and pick somebody up and book it. Probably is. I mean, I might have to shake the pick a ball. Maybe.
You can't outrun the horse. That's not gonna do that.
No, but if I can get out of sight and then drop them and tell them to scatter. Or, my turn. Pick them up, move them, drop them on their turn, and get them farther. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to add movement to movement.
Ismark goes, and he's already on your wavelength. And he's going to try to run with Irina.
Okay.
He's gonna ruin every single thing I'm gonna try to do. We're gonna die, and it's gonna be because of fucking Ismark's stupid ass.
You should
Saving his sister.
You should really fucking
In
disengage.
a really stupid
You
way.
should really try to fucking disengage, man.
Oh, I hate him so much.
You should really try to disengage.
When he dies.
Here I am thinking like, oh, maybe if I use an illusion when Irina starts to run, so it looks like Irina hasn't run yet, we can get a head start that way. Oh, Hope! No!
He grabs and pulls Irina. You've hurt him. We must run. Irina resists. It is no use. And he leans and attempts to grab and pick her up, but then all of a sudden flinches from and grasps at his wounds, and she simultaneously kind of pushes him away. He attempted, but did not succeed.
Would have preferred that fucking failure when I still had her by knife point.
That would have been nice.
Though Strahd is more than willing to contribute. Oh, what is wrong? You have done so well so far. Making contact with Ismark specifically.
Yeah.
Will you not stand and fight after all? Ismark the Lesser.
You probably
I'm also probably going to rename it, by the way. I called it Winter Splinter. I'm probably going to call it something else.
Shouldn't it be Strahd D&D at the final session?
God damn it.
It doesn't happen all at once, but the wolves will now go.
God damn it.
We might actually all die. Well, Crack might get away.
Yeah, okay.
Why would he let me live after
you can double dash and move 80 feet around.
And,
Like,
okay,
he
I
can
know it
teleport
sounds
towards me and
dumb.
kill me.
I don't think he can get every single one of us if we all scattered.
If we all storm Castle Ravenloft at once, you can't get all of us.
Didn't that happen before we came here and it failed? I distinctly remember that happening before we showed up.
And I think the numbers were bigger. I think they had more.
You witness the march of souls.
Oh my god.
One of the wolves moves in and clamps down on Ismark's haunch.
Oh,
Ismark cries out in pain. The wolf attempts to drag him from his feet, but he's able to stand his ground, though he is looking quite injured. Another wolf then rounds the corner, or rounds his corner, and strikes.
This one's gonna die. Wolves are gonna eat him. This sucks so much.
Hey, we can't help people that throw themselves in wolves. We can't do that.
First off, he's trying to throw himself in the wall. She's trying to run. Sister's not winning.
Well, I mean, okay. In all honesty, Irina is probably the safest person here.
Yeah,
In this
until he
situation.
takes her back to the castle and turns her into a vampire.
Because in this situation,
This wolf's attack misses.
You know, even if we live through this session, we're dead next session. Because we'll probably have to go storm the fucking castle if we want to stay through.
You have to storm it immediately.
And then comes back around to Crack's turn.
Which Wolf is more damage?
I think well, pretty damage.
Or can I tell? I should ask.
One of them, particularly this one, is looking slightly more injured.
I'll attack it. See my heroes.
I have a wolf on here that's dead.
Actually, I'll shoot it with a crossbow.
Shit. I'm gonna have to backtrack like after you're done with your action. I forgot the ritual and the guy. Stuff's gonna happen.
I got 25.
Wait. I missed who you're attacking.
The
Sorry.
wolf.
Okay, that is it. The wolves, despite their dexterity, are fairly easy to hit, it seems.
Fine damage.
Target's 14.
Alright. Fine damage. Key blasting.
That first attack puts down the wolf for the turn.
Okay. I'll key blast them. If I can.
I believe you can.
Alright.
Also, before they turn.
Damn it.
11.
That is a miss.
I'll run now because that's long. Dude, I'm gonna run that way.
Okay.
With him or?
Just that way.
He
Okay.
pointed, and so I figured.
Oh, you might be able to help them grab the gem. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. Crag fires again, and then departs. The wicked cackles of Strahd von Zarovich are the only accompaniment he receives, at least for now. He is retreating. As he heads towards the effigy. It is now Strahd's turn.
Let's take it. Yes, my opinion. That's the one he wants.
I don't know, maybe I pissed them off enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really hard because there are several things he would like to do right now. The first. Yeah. The first that he will do is that he spares an attack for his mark.
He is surrounded.
But also flanking with his wolves.
Right, so basically
Thanks.
it's just a normal attack.
I
It
did.
does have damage.
I mean, if he's critically injured, it might be minuscule.
He swipes at Ismark, though misses.
Alright.
Which displeases him, but you know, it happens.
I'm surprised he's not attacking Siguror to get rid of that effect.
Maybe he's already looking at it as like a
In
minor annoyance.
This one, probably should take this future life.
He then turns towards Siguror and says, "One of your proclivities must surely be able to hear them. The children of the night, and the beautiful music they make. manifesting as if from the night itself, a number of swarms of bats appear. Seven swarms of bats appear. To be specific.
Oh, God. Is it just me or does it feel like he's been there at every major thing that has happened so far, this entire adventure?
Wasn't that Wasn't that Valaki?
No, he was outside Valaki when we were going back.
Yeah, but he wasn't at Valaki for the entire time. Or the
He was.
No, he wasn't. I'm saying, he hasn't been everywhere. It's just 3 times.
Well, as a master, but technically, and in your capacity. Okay, so I read and it didn't say, since you used vampires before, there are no rules on like where they appear, right? Just like around him.
Him disappeared.
That's what I figured.
I mean,
Bats swarm over Siguror, and there are a couple of swarms that devote their attention to Ismark. Siguror is damaged for, and I reduced these in advance because I remembered, for 5, 3, and 3. Pinpricks
So,
all over your body. Ismark is also assaulted, though he weathers it decently enough, though it continues to not look good, in that one of the swarms was unable to draw blood from him, but one of them totally did. It then becomes Sasha's turn.
so did my unseen servant get there?
Oh, right.
Yet?
I totally didn't rewind like I wanted to. Technically, before Crack took his turn, one of the barbarians spotted like this hovering sack and attempts to grab it, which will just be like, I'm gonna say like a strength contest between your servant and it.
My servant has 0 strength. The barbarian just wins.
Okay, and the barbarian like grabs onto it and like looks,
How is
and
he
then
holding on to it?
like he grabs out at it like this.
So he has it by the sides.
Yes.
Is his fingers over like the strap where it opens?
I'm not sure where the strap would be located, so I'm not super sure.
On the front-ish.
Then I will say no. Like, maybe he's got like a
Then
thumb on it, but it's
instead-
not a good grab.
Then instead, I will command my unseen servant to reach in the flap, pull out the thing, and keep going.
Grab the bag.
You know that it's been grabbed, though?
Well, the unseen servant can tell me that it's been stopped.
Oh, okay. I did not know that, so...
Well, it says that the unseen servant will keep attempting to do what I've told it to do until it's done. So you can argue whether it would think to be like inside.
I'll put it on what you told it to do. Which, as a refresher, was...
Pour out the alchemist fire on the tree.
Okay. And so there's something inside that it can, like, grab to
Yeah,
continue?
because there was 2 bottles of alchemist fire and 2 bottles of acid in the satchel because I gave it my satchel. And had to go do it.
Okay.
So that's why I asked how it was holding the satchel. So it's not holding it, it can just reach out, grab the 2 vials of alchemist fire, and keep going.
As the barbarian like tries to pull or begins to pull the bag towards it, like the unseen servant like grabs and say there's not a whole lot of time, so it grabs like 1 and like continues as a barbarian not unseen, but you guys are more focused, but there's a different camera that like as like the bottle like floats and like another barbarian like looks and points.
Does it get there
Some
before they
fucking
stop
Looney
it?
Tunes bullshit.
Do you want me to roll initiative?
I was about to roll a check, but initiative would be better.
Okay.
It'd make more sense.
Does it use my initiative or its initiative?
Uh,
Because it doesn't have an initiative score.
I'm gonna go ahead and say we'll just keep yours
Okay.
for.
I got a 19.
This one did not. So there's a barbarian that attempts to like grab the bottle of wood, but it's not quite fast enough.
Does it reach the tree?
And the other ones aren't near enough, so it reaches the tree and is able to put it off.
And it's gonna pour it on where the acid is, or where the oil is, hoping to light it faster.
Because Siguror was light the tree up.
Yeah.
Oil
If
is the
we saw
easiest way.
oil hit the thing, I think it's pretty explanatory to be like, my
There-
things are gonna keep running.
There are armors and barbarians and druids, like, kind of weirded out as the tree is set at least a little alight. Your tiny servants continue to move to the effigy, and I will say, like, reach it by this point. Then attacks happened and stuff. Things got, unfortunately, a little worse.
I'm gonna roll a firebolt at the tree as well. I'll do it with disadvantage, but I should still remember where it is, hoping to add more fire to the tree.
Alright.
If he counterspells me, then whatever.
Only if you know where your unseen servant is, you can probably target next to it, right?
That is really good with that. And I can still remember where it is. Does it counterspell me? Or wait, actually. So they're positioned here,
Mm-hmm.
and he's positioned here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does it sound like they're all still fighting? Like, can I hear that they're all still fighting?
It's a little difficult. Actually, I'll give you a perception check because, like, there's rain. It's kind of noisy.
I use my last lucky. Fuck! Are you? Every time I roll lucky, I roll the same or worse. I got a 5 on my lucky check.
You're not sure. It's kind of difficult to hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a firebolt at the tree, and if he counterspells me, then people should be able to run without provoking attacks from him at least. But they are surrounded by bats. Not that I know that, so it doesn't really fucking matter. So yeah,
Yeah.
go up the tree. Does a 14 hit?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Fire damage.
You throw, and what's more, you think you hit. You hear, like, some shouts, some distant shouts.
Did you want me to roll damage for Alchemist Fire too?
Might as well.
The Alchemist Fire did 10 damage and then an additional 5 for healing. So 15 and then 12. So 29 points. 27. I don't know how I counted that wrong. 27 points of fire damage have been done to the Gulthias tree.
And once the tree goes up, it is very hard to put it out.
And then I will move 30 feet more away, which will actually cancel my Unseen Servant because I move more than 60 feet away from it. And then these two will go more and try to rob the tree, and I'm just going to keep running.
Makes sense. I'm going to look up something. Two something's event.
Does Ghost spell have a range?
Like 60 feet. Which
So you might be out of range. Maybe.
I was 30 feet away from here. No, he would have been within range of Counterspell.
Even if you move first.
However, did I move through the trees to get to where I was?
You are
Am I past the tree line or
technically moving, like, down a hill.
So
you're,
would he
like,
not have had sight on me?
sloping. You know, yeah, actually.
Then he can't counterspell me. You need to be able to see your enemy to counterspell. So he can't counter my firebolts then. Shit, tree. Oh my god. And his legendary attack now.
He could.
Good.
And you know what?
I'm just saying, there's no reason
Think
he wouldn't.
he might.
He's gonna stop holding back.
You don't fucking do nothing.
It's more like damage is now real. Before it was impossible to harm him, and now he's like, okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't completely honest about it. Forgive me.
See, when I hold back, I take less damage. But now that I'm not holding back, I take full damage.
Well, he might have had something that was stopping the damage, and now that's down. I've had like a 9th level false life on. Haha! I had a bunch of 10 hit points.
Nah, first few rounds of a fight, he takes like almost no damage.
Well, that could be a reason why.
Some type of kill. Regeneration.
What is or was Graila's weapon, which was fire?
The club.
Right. Okay. Just making sure.
It's 1d4 plus strength.
No, it's the running. At least gonna try taking something.
Don't bother taking my weapon.
Strahd,
No, not to use.
once again, lashes out in the same manner they did with Greila, only this time hauling Ismark, like from his stooped posture, like up and above.
Does he disadvantage? Well,
No. Remember? He got like 1. He didn't get advantage, but he didn't get disadvantage. And he made it.
yeah.
Hauls him up, looks him in the eye, and much more slowly than with Greila, almost tauntingly, sinks his teeth into Ismark's throat. He calls out in pain as blood is drained.
Makes sense why we do this in the first place.
It officially becomes Irina's turn, who cries out in fear and, well, fear.
I don't think she's gonna.
There's nothing you can do.
In response, Strahd holds her brother aloft and says, "My dear, if you only wish him spared, all you need do is ask."
She's not dead even after being bit.
He is like, one of his eyes is twitching, and he's like kind of slack in Strahd's grip. He is another attack from death, but he
Okay.
is still alive.
Oh.
And Irina bites her tongue at first and scans it. Her mind races as Strahd further says that you could stop all of it. Simply convince them to lay down their arms and accompany me back to Castle Ravenloft. Is that such a small price to pay for the lives of your remaining companions? She begins to raise her sword and then starts to lower it.
This is great.
We should have just killed us in
We could.
If
Down.
If you promise and let them go right now. He says, "My word is my bond. They shall live. Should they leave."
22. Sorry.
2 of you already are. One of you, as in Ismark, tries to grunt something, but is too weak. So, the only person who's really in a position to refuse is Crack. Oh, shit. It's Siguror. Crack's already left.
Oh shit!
Crack, where'd you come from?
And if you have plenty of time to think about that, as I'm going to cut it here.
Well,
Make
fuck.
your decision now.
We will resume with a difficult decision and perhaps yet more struggle. Well, definitely yet more struggle. I am David Harper. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as artist David Harper. What about the rest of y'all?
Yeah, I'm Mario Vilas. You can find more of me at Lights Camera Initiative on Twitter, where I speak for some people. Additionally, on Thursdays, you can find me on the Greyhawk channel and on the Tainted Lands channel on Twitch. Additionally, I think by the time this comes out, it'll be a couple weeks from now. I will be doing a one-shot with Date Bit Gaming on Twitter. She's going to be running a D&D one-shot that's going to be very improv heavy, and it's going to have audience participation. Like, whose line is it anyway? We're going to do scenes from a hat. We're going to do props. We're going to do all that stuff. It's going to be good shit. So check that out. It's going to be really funny.
That sounds great. Cool.
And yeah.
I am Robert. I formerly played Greila. And yeah, I don't have anything to add, so.
I'm Jeff playing Crack, and yeah, if he's running to live to find another day, they'll probably die.
Did you guys all run the same way?
No.
Oh.
And I'm Ed, and looks like this is gonna be a hell of a week to think about stuff. Yeah.
Well, alright. Until next time. Farewell.
Bye.
Say bye.